talking about? Did they literally, or do they want to out that it was rigged? That's it. That's how I want to ask that, because it really, really does look like it was rigged. Even if we don't technically say this election was stolen, even if we never get to that point, it's pretty obvious it was, with everything we knew leading up to this. In no universe would the voting public have voted this guy in. Okay. And you know what's funny? I said very few people would turn up to vote. Where Jean-Claude was, he was saying no. As far as he could see, it was a record amounts of people going out. That might have been in Ontario, but west of Ontario, like 30% of people registered to vote went out to vote. And as far as I'm concerned, that's really poor. That's a poor show. Okay, so anyway, any way you slice it, this looks shenanigan and theater-like. But I just want to see what the universe wants to tell us about, just exactly how shenanigan was this. Do they want us to call foul? Was that the point in the first place? Like, what's going on? Because it just looked, it stinks to high heaven, guys. And every single thing that's happened as far as elections go for years now has been shenanigan, right? You know that, right? Okay, see that card there? This is the intention going into it, and that's clarity and looking at the big picture. So I feel like that tells you right there, they want everybody's eyes on. They want your eyes on to notice how shenanigan it was. Because Canadians were a little, not some of us, but some Canadians are really slow on the draw, and, they're not going to call foul unless it's so in their face, right? Like that, and that's, I guess, what they're doing, making it so in your face. They definitely want people talking about it, and there's going to be more news stories. This is going to ramp up. Yeah, and also something's going to come out about Carney that's going to really taint his image. And there's already been so much, like I can't fathom that he hasn't been literally run out of town, run out of Canada with all of the stuff that came out about him. But it looks like it gets even worse. And then, of course, that tranny wife of his, like, they need to go, you guys, they need to go. And it does look like within 3, and this could even be weeks, something really schmarmy comes out about Carney. Like, this is like showing a real deviant, okay, some deviance, and it'll come out of the blue, like so it's not the usual, like, because I guess all of the other stuff that came out about him wasn't good enough. Okay, this looks like it's gonna really taint his image. So I don't know what that would be. So I keep getting that within 3 weeks. I feel like it's already out there. And yeah, he's absolutely placed in there by Trump and the White Hats. So they got a plan for this guy, and it isn't what all the black-pilled people think. Okay, it's not what the black-pilled people think. Wow. Okay, so now let's have a look at, okay, Trump's been saying lately, we're going to Mars. We're going to Mars, and it's going to be soon. So a lot of people were asking, what the heck does he mean by that? And there's a few different things that he might be doing here. And I'm looking for some of these clues here. Is he trying to out NASA, how they never did any of those things, and none of the video footage or whatever footage of them being on or having some kind of vehicle on Mars is true? They never went to the moon. Like, NASA's a big fake operation. I got that years ago, and boy, did I get a lot of trouble. I even had people writing to me and saying, my son works for NASA and it's absolutely real. Well, they might think it is. You could work for some, like, there's people working for revenue agencies that actually think they're doing good work and that it's okay what they're doing. when in fact they're working for the cabal. You know what I mean? There's people doing all kinds of things they think they're doing good work. There's people in the medical industry literally having mandates to kill people and think they're doing good work. Okay, so there's a lot of people in total denial about what's really going on. So regardless, it's even though I said it years ago, it's been coming out nonstop evidence that NASA's totally fake from the get-go fake. Okay, so they really use the upper people in NASA are using the money, okay, or have been. I think it's all been outed now on the back channels, and I think the White Hat Alliance are onto them and shut that down. And now they're maybe exposing them with this Mars comment. That might be what's going on. Possibly they're exposing that Mars is a place beyond the ice wall in Antarctica. So a lot of people share this one photograph or this global sort of map where beyond the ice wall, there's a whole other Earth, I guess, land, okay, that's in fact named all the star names. Okay, so you got Venus, you got Mars, you got Pluto, you got, and they're actually places, physical places. So some people believe, and we don't know if they're right or not. I don't know yet, right? Some people believe that these are lands named after star names, I guess, and they're actually land. Okay, so that's crazy, right? Yeah, there's the map there, the real outer space, they're calling it in this little article here. But there's a lot of people who believe that that might be really what Earth looks like. Wild, right? And Mars is a place there. Maybe they're getting ready to out that and say, yeah, we're going to land on Mars. We're going to Mars. And then they're going to take you to Antarctica and cross over the big ice wall. You know what I mean? I don't know, right? What are they doing? And the other thing is maybe they're disclosing, so it's soft disclosure, and they're getting ready to out and or disclose that there really is the secret space program. And yeah, they're actually going to Mars. They're going to go to Mars. So that could be literal. You know how Trump sometimes likes to say things that turn out to literally be true. Okay. And then other times he's really thick with the comms. Yeah. So what's going on? Why is Trump saying they're going to Mars soon? Like, is he just talking out the side of his mouth, or is it any one of these things? Is he outing something? Magician, so they're comms for sure. It's a comm. It's not exactly how he's presenting it. Okay, so he's getting us ready. So see that card there? Getting ready to present something. It's a subconscious thing. It's like it's a subconscious thing. He's getting ready to out something, and it might be more than one. So these cards are feeling like what he's getting ready to out is landmass. I wonder if he's going to out what Mars really is, or that there's a place called Mars and it's physically on the Earth plane. So that's a landmass card too. It's about the world. I feel like down the road, and even within 3, let's hope that's weeks, but it could be months, we could know more about what's really in the world. And for a long time, myself and lots of other truthers have been getting that there's way more Earth than we're told. So just the land masses we're told about, first of all, they're bigger, probably different shapes than they say they are. And they're also hiding so much more that's actually, like, we're going to discover new lands. Regardless what shape the world is, there's more to it. It's either bigger if it's a big globe, or in fact, we're in one little flat spot of a big globe, or we're literally in some kind of bowl-like formation. Whenever I've read on it, you guys, I always get it's none of the above. And it's more energetically held together, like I can never say it, like a torus, like a donut shape. I'll just say that because, yeah, I'm famous for getting that one wrong. But yeah, so it's that he's outing maybe lots of things, but certainly he's calming something, and it looks like it has to do with land and how much more land, maybe something that's been kept secret from us. So he's definitely calming something there, but it's not literally he's going to actual Mars like you're thinking of it. Okay, so let's have a look at, or maybe it's like literally what really Mars is, which is a landmass. Okay, isn't that wild? Okay, fascinating times. Now, this one's really interesting. Somebody was saying that Gene Decode put out a video, and he was talking about empty cities and streets and the collapse of the Chinese population. So apparently there's some really big cities in China that used to be so crowded you couldn't even walk around in the cities. Okay. And now there's huge collapse of the population. Could that be? So this article might be signaling that it has something to do with how few children. But I feel like what Gene Decode's referring to here is there could be some devious thing that happened there, like all these COVID deaths, and or not COVID, but the vax, right? Not COVID. That was hilarious. Anyway, we won't even talk about that. But yeah, the fake vax, known as the death shot, that killed a lot of people. I mean, what's really going on? Is there truth to a population collapse in China? Okay, so that should be interesting. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, I got to ask about that. That's fascinating. I mean, did they all scurry underground too because they know something's coming? Like, what's going on? That's interesting there. Well, move that over for you. That's a stressed out card, and it's unnecessarily stressed out. So that's interesting. And this 3, okay, like, wow. Like, this doesn't look like a mass death. This looks more like they left and went somewhere. They left and went somewhere. New territory. Okay, so they left the cities maybe, and it's because something stressed them out. Possibly what he's referring to, and I don't think it's as big as he said it was either. Like, I don't think it's like mass collapse. Okay, I feel like that's an exaggeration. We've got the Lovers there, so it says sort of, it's almost like a temperance card. Temper that a little. Yeah, there's definitely been people leaving, and a lot of them, so you'd notice that the streets weren't as crowded. Yeah, okay, but take it down quite a few notches, and over time that's going to continue to happen. They've gone out of the cities, and they're going into more rural areas, and or maybe even underground, and or places, but unique places, maybe even migrating other places in the world. So it doesn't look like it's directly related to mass deaths. So that is interesting. And this too, and they're really, like, the government is keeping it a big secret, of course, but they're mostly just leaving cities and crowded areas, which frankly, you can understand why, when you're not even allowed to go out of your little district, okay, in some places in China, which of course is a nod to, what's that movie? Hunger Games, right? Remember the districts? The Weffers, they had that planned for us with those 15-minute cities equals you're not allowed out of your zone, okay? We would have been assigned to zones, and slowly over 10, 20 years, we would have had every single right taken, and we would have, like, they were going to sneakily create complete prisons within 15-minute walk of where you lived, and everyone was going to be locked down forever there, like exactly like that movie. Okay, so yeah, that movie was absolutely telling you what was coming, and I feel like that's been stopped on the back channels. Thank Goddess. Okay, thank Goddess or whatever. That's been stopped. Thank universe. Okay, that was stopped. Yeah, and so I feel like this this is a result more of they want to get the hell away from places like that, and also so much chaos in these cities that went down in the last 5 years. Right, fakery, and then being locked in. Can you imagine lockdowns in China, what they must have been like? Like, we were having a tough time in Canada, US, even Australia, they had a really tough time. UK, like Ireland, like so many places, Europe, France, had really tough times in the lockups. But I feel like we didn't even really hear about what was going on in China. And you better believe it would have been absolutely horrendous. They were probably pulling people out of their houses to vaccinate them. Like, so people are leaving and going, we're safer somewhere different. Okay, so there are all kinds of reasons why they're getting the heck out of these cities. So that's what's going on. So I feel like it's partly true what he's saying, but it's not. Maybe it got spun a little, or maybe he believes, that it's like, anyway, my cards just tweaked it a little according to what I'm getting. Okay, so let's look at silver. Okay, so silver was set to really, like, we've been talking about it for years, but apparently to really start moving up, and we could really see the movement, like it has been moving up. Yep. In fact, it's at least $10 more, maybe 50. No, it's actually double. When I started buying silver at the beginning, it's about double now. Yeah, that's true. And that was only 4 years ago. Okay, I got my first silver. So interesting, it has doubled, so it already is, but we're talking $600 and upwards silver. Okay, so is that coming soon here? Like, people are wondering, and we've been talking about it for a long time, and the latest version of what we've been getting here, myself and lots of people, is next month. Okay, so is that still in the cards? Is that what's going on? Let's have a look. Silver, and how is it going? 3 of Swords, that's interesting. Okay, so other things have to collapse first. So this card is like other things have to look really hurting. Okay, so I feel like other ways, like, so the banking and sort of the dollar, the Fed dollar, and or the petrodollar, I feel like that has to hurt more before silver goes up. So they go hand in hand. That one gets really sketchy and silver goes up. Okay, so whenever that happens, that's what's gonna, so it's up in the air. So it looks like it could, and anytime between now and the time of Cancer. Okay, so the time of Cancer is late June. Right, Cancer starts June 20th, I think. Okay, so like, we might be a little later than anticipated on it. Okay, so that, but it still looks like it's what it is lining up with is the financial crash, basically. And I don't think it'll crash quite in the way like as dramatic as, I feel like some places it'll look like that, and some places it even already has, in a way, when you look around at what's happening all over the world. But it looks like they're kind of, it's all tied into when banks crash. Okay, and it gets outed. Like, we know that the banks have been in really big trouble for a long time, and a lot of them have signed over to, I believe, new things that are happening on the back channels. New ways of doing finances, yeah, that are more sovereign for the people, that are better for us. So that'll be good. Okay, so let's have a look at, okay, this one's a little interesting. Okay, Trump's strategy. Somebody was wondering if Trump's strategy with trolling Canadians, you know how he's been trolling us and saying, oh, we got to be the 51st state and etc. He's probably going to really come on strong with that, since Carney, his puppet, by the way, I get Carney as his total puppet. Carney's not the evil guy anymore. That guy's been rounded up. They're either using the real Carney as a walk of shame, or literally using a brand and the guy's a mask wearing Carney. Okay, but anyway, so he's Trump's puppet. So whatever Trump's doing with Canada, it probably has a lot to do with this rigged election that was clearly Jimmy rigged. Okay, so is Trump's strategy to have the provincial premiers, they're called premiers, by the way. So your governors, we got premiers in the provinces. Okay, so you got, yeah. Anyway, premiers. Like, is he waiting and hoping, and maybe his intention is that one by one each province leaves Canada, like Alberta's threatening to do. And if Alberta starts, there'll probably be a whole bunch more that follow suit, by the way. Okay, so a lot of the provinces like Manitoba, Saskatchewan, those kind of provinces, they will likely follow if Alberta does. Okay, they never get, so Alberta and those central provinces and even British Columbia, they don't really get represented in elections. Like, it's only, all the people are really focused, it looks like, in Eastern Canada. So the West always feels left out. We always get totally screwed in election time and everything. We never get our person, you know what I'm saying? So we have to do it sort of provincially. So it feels like Alberta is going to be the first to go if they do go. But is that Trump's strategy, is what this person wants to know, that they're all going to one by one go and join the new North American Republic? Okay, so that's what the person asked. So it's a fascinating question. You know, and the cards are looking at it from the perspective of, the person's wording, you know. So if it really isn't a new North American Republic, the cards will be a no, right? So there's a lot going on here. But is that, in fact, Trump's strategy to entice? And don't forget that these premiers, for the first time in history, I think, all were known to go to the White House right after Trump got in, okay, and have a big meeting with Trump. Like, what? That's totally unheard of. Okay, so all the premiers going anywhere altogether is pretty weird, but it was totally weird that they all went to the White House. Maybe he was, getting them all primed and ready for their little plan here to exit left stage out of Canada and leave the Canada Incorporation, which is like a bankrupt corporation, like all of the countries are, right? They're just corporations at this point. And was that the plan all along, right? And frankly, I'm hoping it's a yes. I am so done with the fakery going on here. Okay, let's have a look. Look at that. We've got a 6. So the 6 of, that's interesting. That's a 6 of Wands. That's a victory. Okay, so Trump's considering the way the election went a victory. It went exactly how they planned it. Okay, and it was really obvious. He knew. Okay, we should have just listened to Trump. He said, I'm going to be talking to Carney right after the election. That's literally what he said. Okay, he told us exactly what was going down, like he always does. Okay, unbelievable. Okay, so we've got the moon card. Okay, so the hidden. So it's the hidden agenda. So it is the strategy. It's certainly part of the strategy. Okay, so I'm gonna say yes. And the 3 of Swords. So it's gonna break up Canada, and everyone will cry the blues at first, but one by one, and I think 3 different provinces will start it off. So that would make sense to Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Those would be my guess on the first 3. British Columbia can be really, really liberal. So, and they always voted NDP for a really long time, which is like, when you look at the NDP, they're like total scumbags. It's like, oh my God, all of them are scum. None of them are good. You can't say a good thing about any of Canadian politics. Like, it's, or US, or actually world, like that's pretty much. This whole last 5 years has shown me that all politics and politicians are absolutely groomed and just puppets for World Economic and or Khazarian Mafia. Deep state puppets, every single one of them. None of those guys were good, not a single one. And the only person, and I'm still holding out intention and totally, not hope, but visualizing and actually seeing proof that the only one who's doing anything good is in charge of the White Hat Alliance. And he's not doing everything himself, but it's Trump. He's the only one I trust at this point. And, I don't blindly trust. I'm keeping his feet to the fire and keeping an eye on everything. But at the same time, I feel like things are going according to a plan they've got going on. That still really solidly looks real to me. So I'm going to talk about it. And that's why I say what I say about it. But this looks like 3 provinces are going to go first. The really big ones, they'll be a little harder to convince. Okay, the ones that actually probably did go out and vote for Carney. Don't ask me who those people were. Nobody knows anybody who did that. Anyway, yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching my video. Don't forget tarotbyjanine.com if you were watching this anywhere but my Tarot by Janine website. Yikes. Wow. Yeah, the other shoe to drop just right there just showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, today kept feeling like we were in the twilight zone.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like time was really skewed today.
Loopy.
There's crazy things going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Anita says greetings from Tampa. Hello, Anita.
Okay, this is interesting. We've got it badly aspected with the tower, and this could have something to do with government. So some kind of outing of government. Partying. Like party substance. Like just things they're doing that they consider leisure and partying and that are shocking and disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like just before I got on here, for instance, there was more circulation of the Biden family antics and Biden's granddaughter, is it his granddaughter, that accuses him of molesting her several times, many times in the shower.
Yep.
And her, there's so many things just sitting around waiting to go.
Percolating. Really percolating, not exploding yet, but just at the top of the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, and there's the explosion there that could really affect our politicians and how we view them and how we view the political arena. Yeah, all kinds of things like that. And the Chariot says things are moving really fast right from the beginning of, the year, actually. Well, right. What we call the beginning of the year. So January 1st, it was like rubber hit the pavement. It's been just a crazy thing going on here, but something could really, really blow here. And now the next thing that happens, we've got the Emperor. So that it feels like Trump will be really headlining the news. He has been for months and months and months, but something really big could come out. A win for Trump and team. They could sure use it because there's a lot of grumbling about, all kinds of things creeping up on them. And, he said some things that people are just like scratching their head. What on earth is he talking about? And I feel like we could get some really big clarity. And this could also be, you could see somebody get arrested here. And I don't mean tomorrow, but, soon. Sometime this month is kind of how it's looking. So a big ace here. So a fiery, and could be really shocking even, some kind of dealing some kind of justice. Well, that feels like an arrest. I mean, we all have been talking about it. We need to see somebody get arrested for all of the theft and unbelievable stuff that the Doge, turned up. But never mind, for the years of the deception around the jabs, that like so many things. There's so many things, although they seem to be, that's really not as forefront as we need it to be. It's more about money theft that I see that could be a big arrest around that. What do you see, and how are you seeing that? If there was a big arrest, what do you see it would be?
I'm not sure. It could be on any front. Like I said, again, it could go to the pedos. It could go to the banking world, financial world. It can go to the NIH. It could go I mean, pick one, anyone. We're delayed on all of this justice for the last number of years. So I really I don't know. I don't know. All of the above, Janine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this ace with the 4, so it's certainly something we've had our eye on here. It's something we've had our eye on, but there's a real creative way they're going to do it, whatever that means. Or the whole arrest itself will actually be created. In other words, part of the theater, which would make sense to somebody who's already been maybe processed. We talk about it like they've been processed, but
right.
They're still supposedly walking around. So that could be any number of people we've talked about over the years.
Arctos99 says there are too many that need to be arrested. Yeah, it's hard to pick one at this point, but the first one is supposedly going to shock the world, right? Like that's when everything stops and everybody goes, oh, especially the normies, something, we're in a different territory here. So I originally asked you, I said, okay, we're already a couple days into April. What does next week look like? Is this really a read for next week? Or are you looking at the month here? Like, what do you see from the cards there? How did you pull this?
Well, I pulled it to what your question was.
Okay. I was asking about next week.
So, yeah, this could all happen next week. That kind of makes sense to some of what Cliff High's been getting.
Yeah.
Because when you look at that chart you shared earlier,
yeah,
some high points coming up.
Right. Okay. A lot of people are interested in, let me see if I can bring this up. Setting Girl, yes. I'm most curious about Trump's tweet about the operation. Okay. Why don't we do that next, Janine? If you want to shuffle the cards there, I'll bring that up on the deck. So Trump tweeted this also on Truth Social. The operation is over, exclamation point. The patient lived and is healing. The prognosis is that the patient will be far stronger, bigger, better, and more resilient than ever before. Make America great again. Now, if the patient is America here, well, okay, let's start there, actually. Is the patient America, or is the patient the Federal Reserve note? Because there's confusion here as to what they're trying to save, right? Are they trying to save the banks and the money supply? Or are they trying to save the country? Because so far, saving the country wouldn't necessarily mean an end to the Federal Reserve note. So let's start there. Who's the patient? What's the patient? USA or the dollar? The current dollar. How do you want to pull that?
Well, it doesn't look like it's the current. So what I'm looking for is if it's the current dollar, one of these should be a pentacle.
Okay.
Depending on how the dollar's doing, that would depend on which pentacle, but we got no pentacles. We do have a truth and justice card. So the patient might be the justice system. Or truth and justice for humanity. It's another way we could read that.
Now, clearly, the tweet in question is referring to America. That seems to be what they're saying. Like they want to make America great again, and that's the patient he's talking about.
Yep.
The reason Janine and I are asking to get further details is because there seems to be more to the story, of course, and the whole story around the tariffs also have not yet yielded the true nature of what all of these negotiations are around the world, right? So we're getting this kind of like high-level fighting around the tariffs, but we're not really getting the backroom deals of what specifically is being negotiated, what treaties are changing hands, for example, what country boundaries are changing hands, who's controlling the levers and who's not controlling the levers. That's what I'm trying to get at here. There's more to that story. So what else do you see there in that third row, Janine?
Well, I'll just go back to this. So we're in all new territory. So kind of what he says is we are too. So they're like looking at new territory because they're now on the heel and the operation's done. So they're looking at new territory, moving in a new direction. What's moving in the new direction? Truth and integrity. This card is about knowing the truth and or something to do with, well, it could be, he's a lawyer. This guy's a lawyer, but it's obviously not literal about a person.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's in general the truth about what's been going on in the US, the truth about what's been going on in the world. I think it's big. I think it's a bigger look. The Queen of Cups in the past. So the past was, they were, whoever it was or whatever it was in bad shape. Things were really looking murky here. And this guy's a far healthier energy. She can be really depressed, downtrodden, and focused on her emotional wounds. Interesting. This card in the middle, we've got the Queen of Wands. So this is, how does the public see it? This is a very interesting woo card. This is our woo card. So it kind of brings everybody, and I feel like everybody knows he's talking in crypt. Everybody knows he's... I feel like they're assuming, even if they're not sort of somebody who understands his cryptic.
Well, everybody in live chat absolutely knows what he's talking about right now if you read the comments. So I'm like, I don't think we're that sure, because if it's the country, I would equate that to the Constitution, right? A country is born out of this Constitution. Whose Constitution, what Constitution right now is healthier and stronger? The original one, the corporate one, right? We don't know. So
did he say the word Constitution?
No. But what I'm saying is, if you guys are referring to the country, well, the country is constituted, right? So whose Constitution did we save today, make stronger and better as a patient? That's the question a lot of people have to ask. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. JC's right here. There's more than meets the eye. What are we saving precisely in the country?
Truth and justice. I mean, because nothing has been true about it.
No.
Right? So like somehow moving in a new direction to truth and justice, if I was to read it just literally. How does everybody else see it? Everybody sees it as an intuitive comment. They're seeing it as, I guess they assume that maybe he's, another way you could read that is, who's he talking to? Maybe he's talking to this community.
Right.
He's not necessarily talking to the normies. He's talking to the people that follow Q. He's talking to the people that watch shows like this. He's talking to the people that are using their intuition and common sense, because she's intuitive and common sense.
Okay.
Okay, and the next thing that happens, so that's a good military. Okay, so showing themselves or coming out in the public. Okay, so a couple of times this month, I've already got that we're going to start seeing who's been behind a lot of these operations. Right? So maybe we'll see some more public white hat military action,
especially if we see the arrest there that you had on that first poll.
Right. Okay, so here these two cards want to speak too, so something to keep in mind. We've got the Page of Wands moving in a new direction, and it has something to do with the death of somebody and or deaths, or understanding about death, truth and integrity about deaths. Moving in a new direction, truth and integrity about a lot of people that haven't died, who you think have died. So learning the truth about deaths, maybe learning the truth about what's really causing all the unnecessary deaths lately. Maybe both of those things. Like, are we moving in a direction? Did they just take a step out of the movie into bringing this into some real life this month, into some real live information, so people can actually understand what's been going on?
Well, that's very much needed. Okay, interesting. Let's move the dial on this, because again, there's a lot of confusion. So let's go back to the operation part. So don't move the cards for now. Maybe we could use that deck again, or we'll have to repull. So yeah, David Nino, yeah, the operation. So the operation is over. That to me speaks to a military operation, right? And I think most people watching the show did say, yeah, JC, we're tracking with you. It was a military op. The whole last 4 years was a military op. They played this Biden character. In the meantime, they were prepping everything in the back. Now now he's front facing again, the president, as opposed to just CIC, and now they're rolling out Doge and all these things. Okay, so if the military operation is over, again, where's the result of that military operation? Like, for the people to actually believe that the military operation is over, we need the arrests. We need people. We need more than, oh, we're just correcting the books at the NIH. We need people to hang or face justice, whatever that may be in their particular case, right? So if you look at Derek Johnson's post, he says one of the patients is the United States of America. Okay, again, I would question United States of America as per what constitution? But we'll take it at face value right now. President Trump choreographed this in every speech. He'd given markers along the way of Memorial Day 2025 and July 4th, 2026. By the way, they want to have a go back treasury note by this time as well. So something's happening there. He says, again, it's a military operation, all strategically planned using special operations via unconventional warfare and clandestine and covert operations. For Trump to say this, and for the rest of the people he's talking to, the patriots, the people who watch these shows, the Q people, they actually need something more than what we've seen so far in physicality to believe that this operation is over. Because at the same time, we're still seeing the chemtrails, we're still seeing the 5G towers, we're still seeing the electromagnetic attacks on people. Right now, we're still seeing manipulation in gold and silver. And so there's a lot of things that are still residual happening right now that don't appear to be in our best interest. So if the operation is over, what part of that operation truly is over? Maybe let's go there. What's the operation specifically when he's talking about this operation, Trump? Most people think it's a military operation, but let's do a poll on what Trump means by operation.
Staying a safe distance, and the hermit is the alliance. So I feel like it's the White Hat Alliance collaborated operation that's maybe been residing over the whole world for years. I feel like they might be getting ready to step out and show themselves, like we've been talking about for quite a while, but seems to have ramped up a little.
Well, that's okay. Let's do a pull on that. Let's do a new Kachina knife. Cliff had in his data for many years, the sock would come out into the open, right? There was this critical moment in time where the sock would come out. They'd have to explain what they were doing. They'd have to show, oh, look, remember this guy? Remember that date? Remember? Yeah, that was us. That was the whole plan, right? Are we close to that moment, the sock coming out, now that, quote unquote, the operation is over? Because short of that, we all have to be very weary of people telling us, everything's fine, go back to bed, the operation's done, you guys have your liberty back. Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to need receipts. Me personally, if you guys want to swallow that hook, line, and sinker, go right ahead. But I'd like some receipts. Janine, what do you think? You want receipts?
I want to visually have these guys come out and take a bow and get those curtains to come up and the normies to have to deal with it. That's what I want. So I guess that's receipts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's the point. Because, somebody was saying that in the live show today. They're like, short of that, our normie friends and families are still going to think we're stupid and they're going to go on with their daily lives, not realizing what just happened over the last 4 years, right? Or 70 years, maybe, if you look at the beginning of all of this. What was interesting, too, Dan Bongino, I think it was on the Monday, I retweeted this somewhere. He said something to the effect that, hey, it's not because you don't see anything happening that there's not a lot happening in the background. Okay, Deputy Chief of the FBI, what is he talking about? So, again, alluding to something in the background, but again, right now, I think most people want the receipts move forward. So now we're polling directly on when the sock comes out into the open. What do you see there? So
the death card is it's been marching slowly towards that end. There's no avoiding it.
Hold on. A few people are new. So SOC, Self-Organizing Collective, is the term that had been brought together by the WebBot data reports even before people were talking about the white hats. So we're talking about the white hats here, or this bigger umbrella that could include up to off-world beings and maybe AI in this whole mix. That's the SOC, guys. So if you're new to the show, welcome and thank you for being here. Okay, keep going, Janine. When are they coming out?
So slowly but surely marching towards, you can't turn around in this tunnel, right? This guy's walking through the dark night of the soul into the light again. So we're definitely going to see the other side of that. Here we've got the Queen of Swords here. She's brutal, truth and integrity. She's a little direct about it. She can be a little harsh. We've got the past. There's been a lot of alluded things towards it. It's just been gossip and innuendo with the Q drops and all of us truthers talking about it. And people just think literally we're just gossiping and innuendo. Like they think we're conspiracy theorists. Okay, so now we've got the Strength card. So this card says, if it feels to me like they're thinking the public is ready now. Because that's, who's going to be affected the most, right in the middle. And who are they concerned about here? Well, those are the people that need to know.
Right.
Okay. And now the two of Swords, that could be any moment now. So this feels like, I feel like they're thinking, they're taking a pulse and thinking, and maybe that's why they put these tweets out. It's they're getting ready to, like, all you got to do with the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords as an outcome, it could be in a moment, could be in a thought. It's as fast as a thought or a moment, or a shift of how you think about something. So it's any moment. So I'm thinking they're just testing the waters hourly or moment to moment to see when's a good time. So I'm thinking they're putting it out there that we're getting to that place really soon.
We're almost there. They're pinging us on every front. Yeah. Okay. Let me try and slide deck. It's similar, again, in this vein. We have to listen to Trump here as he's talking about the tariffs and how well they're going. And we're going to set that up in the context to what just happened to the Dow, the S&P, our stock markets in general, and also gold and silver today, which took a big hit. So I think you can shuffle now, Janine. Let me just go to another.
Can I just talk about these two? I kind of forgot.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so this one, so the Four of Swords, something's hidden here. So it's been kept hidden. They're feeling like, so what I'm getting here is the White Hat Alliance, the SOC, White Hat Alliance, Trump and the White Hats, that's all the SOC. That could be categorized as the SOC. I feel like they're thinking if they leave it too much longer, they're actually going to do more damage than good. So they're trying to find that perfect moment where it's still going to do a lot of good, and they aren't going to ruin the whole situation. Like there's going to be this sweet spot, and they're just feeling out exactly when it is.
Everybody's like, yes, sock it to me. Sock it to us. That's interesting you say that, because in the data, there was also some concern with the sock coming out of the timing and whether or not after a certain point they would be causing more harm, because inevitably it very much appears, and we have to be adults about it, that the sock has been lying to us, manipulating us just as much as the bad guys were, right? So at a certain point, they're going to have to face the fact that they weren't on the up and up. And we thought at the beginning of this war that the white hats had to be just that, white and pure, and that they couldn't lie to us in order to have or to fulfill this operation. That doesn't look to be the way it went. To me, anyways, personally, and Janine and the cards we've been pulling, we've been manipulated by both sides on all of this. So that too is going to have to be explained somehow. And I wouldn't want to be in their shoes to explain why they lied to us or why they manipulated us and why perhaps they killed people also to achieve some of these goals, including perhaps even Operation Warp Speed, right? So that's a big conversation. So this sock coming out is not a small affair, to say the least. People were talking about today too. I just saw this. Klaus Schwab, where did it go now? Having the same issue with this slide deck since we started this retrograde. Let me see if I can do this again. Can you see that on the screen, or is it just mine that's empty? You don't see it, eh? Okay, there you go. Boom. Davos Forum founder Klaus Schwab to step down as chair of trustees. Okay, So there's an indication here. He's not gone all the way. You've been pulling for quite some time that the WEF is not what they had. They're kind of already dead. This is a beast without teeth, I think is the way you've described it a couple months already. But now we're starting to get the hints there that there's a changeover happening here. So we'll get back to that here in just a moment. Now, let me see if I can get to the Trump, this one here. Is that going to work? Man, I don't know. Hold on. Why it's doing that, I don't know. That's on the wrong slide. I can get it to work. Wait, this one, I think now it works. This one. Okay. So let's hear what Mr. Trump has to say. So here, the reporter, the markets today are way down because of the tariffs. So how's it going? He says, well, I think it's going pretty well. It was an operation. Like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. Okay. So again, he's talking about the economy being the patient. If you read through the lines here, not talking about the country, right? So again, everybody at the beginning says, oh, we all know he's talking about the country. Well, okay. Which constitution? Here seems to be talking about the economy because that's what the reporter is asking. Anyways, let's hear what he has to say. We'll come back. We'll ask more questions.
The markets today are way down. The worst day.
Can you hear that? You have air play in the back. I know it's horrible sound there, but let's keep playing it.
Here because of the tariff. So how's it going?
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal? They've taken advantage of us for many, many years. For many years, we've been at the wrong side of the ball, and I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be unbelievable. The thing that people have to talk about, we're up almost to $7 trillion of investment coming into our country, and you'll see how it's going to turn out. Our country's going to boom.
Our country's going to boom. So I apologize there. We can see the jet engine noise is drowning him out there. But he says the economy is going to boom, the investments are going to boom, the innovation is going to boom. $7 trillion just came into the country based on these changes here, and he's saying it's going well, right? So having said that, what we did see today is this. Let me see if we can go to this tab. $3 trillion was just wiped off of the stock market. So he's saying 7 trillion came into the country, 3 trillion just left here. Quite a few also left in the gold and silver arena. Those are down significantly again today. So here he seems to be talking about the economy being the patient as opposed to the country. Can we try to decode just to see if this is really about the financial system, Janine? In your poll earlier today on the viewer questions show, and also I believe on the Monday show you and I did, there seems to be something happening in the background that is being let happen or made to happen in order to be able to proffer a solution here very soon. So it very much feels like the red on the screen you guys are seeing now is by design to try to make people feel pain a little bit here so that they can introduce some type of remedy. Is that what we're looking at here, Janine? Let's do maybe a Kachina knife on that one. Are you guys tracking with me? You understand where I'm going? Janine?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Temporary setback, feeling some pain. I was also thinking maybe some of those things are to get your attention about certain things, like how things are manipulated on the stock market, how they've been done in the past. I don't know. Because a big part of what his tweet was about, it looks like, is about truth and integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing some truth to, because we know the stock market's really manipulated. Maybe you got to show it first, because this card says temporary. It was a success. So whatever they have been doing, that group believes. So the group that we call the SOC, if in fact Trump's the head of the SOC, which I've been saying he is for years, because that's what I get. Okay, so I'm just saying, That's how it looks to me. Okay. And this card here says they really do believe it was a great success. So he's likely going to be proven right. I mean, if like this happens a lot with Trump, right? Yeah.
Right.
Boom. Okay. So you're going to see maybe even really fast 1 and then 2. Maybe we've already had 1, then maybe 2 and 3, but a couple of different things roll out here financially. That looks imminent, like right away. So sometime in the month, and then here, the next thing that happens, we end up with a really independent, more sovereign ways that we can make and hold our money. So this is the card you want as your outcome financially. So if the financial part is absolutely part of it, but I think there's way more to it. Now we've got like to that tweet, that's what I mean. There's more. I don't think it's just the financial, but that's a big part of it.
Right.
Okay, so we've got the Empress. Abundance is coming. What he said will be true. He's going to be correct again. And the abundance is mostly for the regular folks. So it looks like less input from government, less taxes, less grabs, less overhead, less. There's going to be a whole bunch of things corrected that people end up going home with more money. And they'll especially see it from July on.
July. Okay. Maybe hold those cards there. Let me see if I can change decks here and get this to work. So Trump has been alluding to this since the campaign about creating this external revenue service, right? He didn't say he was removing the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, but he would be creating this external. And then he hinted at the fact that, oh, with all these tariffs, maybe we could eventually look at reducing or eliminating income tax, right? So he's been kind of floating that in different ways now for 6-7 months or so. Just yesterday again, we saw him in the news, Trump considering announcing the External Revenue Service. Now here, this prompted 2 days ago on Twitter, a whole bunch of people saying, you see, he's going to cancel all of the income tax. Well, he hasn't said that yet. He said that maybe that's possible. Maybe we can get to that. There's work to be done. But people are very excited about this announcement of the External Revenue Service, thinking that it would replace the IRS. But then if you look at what the Hill just posted just below it, Trump's External Revenue Service, quote unquote, cannot replace the IRS. So there's a lot of confusion there for the people watching the show. So yeah, we're going to need a new poll on this. If you want to do a shuffle, Janine, I think the question is here, are they really planning at this point a complete removal of the IRS and income tax in lieu of this new External Revenue Service? And if so, what does that look like? Is it days? Is it months? Does it take a few years to wind down the old system? I don't know. Because you're saying there's a boom, boom, boom. There's going to be wealth here. In order for that wealth to happen, there probably has to be a redistribution. There has to be those guys who are running the fake computers, running the money. They have to be arrested and they have to stop printing money out of thin air. A lot of things need to happen and be publicized for us to have confidence that the new system is going to be more just and for everyone. So where are we on removing the external service? Removing the IRS in lieu of the external service, removing income tax. Is that part of the game right now? What does that look like? You're doing a 7-card pull? Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating.
Could have already happened.
Okay.
Okay, don't forget there's been all of that where the main buildings.
They're boarded up, people that, all that
those
stuff.
are big clues as far as I'm concerned. And I've been getting for a couple of years now that it already got taken out. Now, that doesn't mean you won't still get the letters, all the scares, all the, because everything's run by AI probably.
And it also doesn't mean that you can just stop paying your taxes, because they might, even though they might replace the IRS at a certain date. Let's say they came out in July 2nd or whatever, 4th, and say, okay, we're removing the IRS. They might still say, well, you owe until July 4th, and then moving forward, there's no more income tax, right? So too early for all the people on Twitter saying, yeah, we're not paying our taxes. Be very careful with that, guys. You're putting yourself in harm's way there until you get more data. Okay. Whoa, that's interesting, Janine. Keep going there.
Yeah, we got two aces and the devil here. Okay. So here's the past. So that looks like it already happened because that's what you asked. So that was already done according to this. The present situation is the devil. So I feel like they're really showing you what it was, who designed it, who it was designed by. So they've got to really mark it as the evil thing it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got to be, because otherwise a lot of people won't feel comfortable with it, believe it or not. They'll be all freaked out because they think that's how roads get paved and stuff. Like I've heard more people say, oh, well, the roads won't get paved. And okay, I don't think it's pretty well known here since, a lot of books came out telling you that IRS does not, the money doesn't come back to the country.
Oh, we've had many shows on this before.
Yeah,
we're also like,
it's absolutely not paving your roads. Anyway, okay, so I think they've got to really, so right now, this is in the now past, something already happened to it. Present, or it could have even been switched around and refurbished. Like they're gonna, because this isn't like the destruction card is the tower. They've already built it into something else. Maybe it's already the internal, or sorry, what did he call it? The external revenue.
External revenue service, yeah.
I think that might have already happened. Okay. And Trump, he always says blah, blah, blah. And the thing's already happened over here. Okay. And they're just letting us in on it. Okay. So here we've got the devil. So that now they've got to show you what devils they are, who runs it for real, what really they do with the money. They've been showing you that with the Doge thing. Okay. So, am I saying that right? Doge.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've got the King of Cups. So this is a kind of a secretive psyop card. So I don't know what that's doing there in the near future. Okay, so I don't think tomorrow, so that's past, present, and near future, you're going to know about this. There's still some things they got to do first. So this card is setbacks and duking it out. Also educating people. Come back to this again. The devil doesn't go away that easily. They got to really be devil. Like they've got to show you that these guys are the devil.
Yeah.
Like the dysfunction of that. Okay. So, and why it was even set up and who set it up and who's behind it and where does the money go? I feel like there's still a lot to learn here. Okay. So it'll still be a secretive operation that this thing's already been created. Maybe 5 more months. That could be what that means, but let's keep looking. Now we've got the ace. So he's just telling you something. Okay. So he just told you the truth. Okay. He might not have said it as clear as we'd like him to, but he just told you the truth there. So what he said there, he's literally telling us. So if we add the words we know he's talking about, like we're going to need to read a little between the lines, but he's being pretty direct actually for this military operation. He's directly saying this thing's already, like I think he's applauding the SOC for getting it.
He's enough ahead of the curve in the implementation to say, okay, the operation is successful here.
Yeah. Yeah.
In other words, he could say we won the war, but that seems to be maybe a little bit a bridge too far. Maybe he's won the skirmish or he's won one of the battles here. What do you see in the two overlay cards?
Okay, so remember that was in our past that led to this. Okay, so they're definitely on a plateau here. They just reached some plateau and said goodbye to. So this feels like she was bleeding money or something is the word that came into my head. So they cut off something that was literally like bleeding the country dry. Oh, that could have been
the money printing, the over-the-counter derivatives, the money that's going off-world, the money that's going out of the country. There's no boundaries to this card.
and it's really, really unhealthy. Her the way she's focusing is unhealthy. So they cut something off that was unhealthy. And this card, the reason I'm saying they cut it off is that they ended something that it was really hard to do. I feel like they're wanting to celebrate a plateau.
That's fascinating.
With our community. I think they're doing it for our community.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the outcome. See that strategy.
Yeah.
So going forward, watch for comms, and it'll be high intrigue here going forward. And I'm thinking we got another 5 months before you could, really be seeing where they're admitting this.
I was just going to ask, Joelle was also in the chat. Okay, timing. 5 months before we see that. Well, that's what I mean about the tax season, guys. I'm just going to read a comment here, address it very quickly, Janine. Robin says, I disagree, JC, with you. As sovereign humans, I'm not consenting to taxes, period. Are you a sovereign human? Do you have your birth certificate? Do you still have social services? If you took that social security card, you're not sovereign. You relinquish that. And unless you've taken all the steps to extricate yourself from that contract, you're not sovereign. So you're going to have to be very careful with that language, dude. It'll get you in trouble. But understand the sentiment. And I think this is where humanity wants to go. Collectively, that's where we want to go. Absolutely. Not there yet. And here you have minimum 5 months ahead of us of turbulence. What else do you have there with the two last clarifiers, Gene?
Well, when the person asked for timing, so the King of Swords is an October card. Is that 5 months from now?
October?
Yeah.
No, April, May, September, October. Yeah, 5-6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say by October or by the time of Libra, which would be the end of September. Like 21st of September, I think, is usually the end of and the very beginning of Libra. So the time of Libra. And then the Queen of Wands here. I feel like that's when it's a lot more clear and out there in the world. And that's interesting because that's the very same card. That card was in that other layout describing what he's talking about. So the truth and integrity could come out. So another way you could read this is the truth and integrity of this, the truth about what's really happening and what's already happened here. Could come out because she's not afraid, or they could be a lot less afraid of, say, the IRS or whatever, because there's a lot of fear around when you even say the word. It's scary, right? Okay, so those kind of words, they've taught us to be really fearful of it. So we've got the Queen of Wands. So we could also be talking about August.
Okay.
He's August. So it could flip around between those two. Again, usually when you do a big reading like this, you got an hour to keep playing. Right. We're doing this on the fly on a live. So I'm doing the best I can, but I'd say between August and October.
Okay. Person says I'm wrong about the sovereignty of humans. Again, you've made a contract with these governments. Now, mind you, you might have been fooled in that contract. You didn't know what you were signing. Your mom didn't know what they were doing with the birth certificate. But nonetheless, you're in a contract. So you can go watch many shows on this, and we could debate all night. But my point is, until you prove in a court of law right now that has jurisdiction over you that you're a sovereign, you are not. You can say it all you want, but these contracts have put you in a place of subserviency to any part of the system. So if you're taking Social Security and you still have that card and you still use your passport, you are part of a system and you are not as sovereign as you think. Hate to break it to you, but that's the reality. Where humans are going, what perhaps the world is going to change like, and what we're hoping for, of course, is the opposite of that. With that, I agree with you, but we're not quite there just yet. And I think it's very not delusional. I think it's irresponsible to at least admit that part of that system, as you said, the devil there, it's not going slowly into the night. It still wants to fight because for it, it's do or die. And so you don't want to be trapped facing that particular devil because of these particular views. Does that make sense? Do you hear what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. Can I add my personal opinion?
Of course. Yeah.
And this is a personal opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking this my whole life. Okay. So if a person does want to move in that direction, spiritually, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So it's not just literally going through the steps, because there's that too, like what Jean-Claude laid out, but also spiritually, you have to actually believe that in your deep soul and know. And you have to do the spiritual work to absolutely not be fearful of these overlords.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you do have to face them, you have to stay really set. Also take all the consequences of where this 3D world you're still living in. It will take you while you're expressing your sovereignty, so that it's a real spiritual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like I wouldn't tell someone they couldn't be that person that they want to be. Okay, but I would also say it's a big step, and you have to take the responsibility of whatever's will happen while you're still living in this 3D reality, where it's literally not a reality yet. But you're ahead of the game and spiritually living in that place. And that's great. And like, that's what you want to do. But that's a personal responsibility. And you're certainly not, it's certainly not the norm right yet. Okay. We're trying to turn it into that. We're working on moving it there.
Yeah. And just so you know, if you're new to this and you like these conversations, please, by all means, go see more videos on this, because I was watching guys talk about this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and it was intriguing. Absolutely. But guess what? They're still in jail 15 years later. So again, there's a lot of work in humanity, and there has to be I don't know if it's how do you call it, a critical mass needs to be reached, and that's the spiritual aspect that Janine was talking about, right? And I think as long as most normies don't believe there are pedophiles running this world, we're not going to reach that critical mass. We're close to it, but this is the point here. We have to evolve spiritually, individually, to bring that sovereignty to us, to our reality, but also collectively in a big way. That's the reason for having these shows. People are saying, "Oh, GC, you're confusing everyone." Well, it's a confusing topic. It's not as cut and clear, and I don't want to be accused of selling hopium. This is very dangerous stuff when it comes to these topics, guys. So again, Jenny and I are not giving you any financial advice. We're reading from the cards. We're sharing some of our opinions on this, and we recommend that you do your own research. And like everybody's saying in the chat now, you are responsible for yourself and for your own decisions moving forward. So we'll leave that one at that, Jenny. But it is a touchy and complicated one. I don't know. It's a weird night tonight. Resolute Red says JC is so negative about Trump. Did I say anything negative about Trump?
Haven't heard you do that tonight. No. That's weird.
Okay.
I think you hold everybody accountable.
Well, yeah. Well, that's just being responsible. That's not being negative. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so Resolute Red, maybe you misunderstand that, but no, we're encouraged with what we see, but we want to see more, and we want receipts. That's not being negative. That's being serious, because this is serious as a heart attack for humanity. We're in like a very difficult bind, and we got here, most of humanity, by not asking the receipts and letting these, pedophiles and maniacs run our world and take what they said for granted. We can't do that anymore. And so if that means I'm negative, then okay, I'm negative. But go watch another show.
Even the sock and the white hats want us to be responsible that way. And check and balance everything. They're like Q certainly taught us that.
Yeah.
It doesn't say some people interpret it as saying just blindly follow the plan. I never interpreted it that way. I always feel like do the research, look down the rabbit holes, go the places, think for yourself. That was more what I was reading from, that's what I get anyway.
Am I grumpy tonight? Maybe I'm not laughing as much as usual. I don't know. These are tough subjects, but they're they're difficult subjects to get across, and we're trying to do the best we can in a 1 hour show to give you some information, while at the same time being very responsible, because things are moving, as we discussed at the beginning of the show, by the hour. Things are changing here, so just trying to be responsible, I guess. So grumpy JC, okay. We'll leave it at that. JC, you're not grumpy. Okay, thank you. I love that. Somebody was asking about this. Let me see if I can get the slide deck to cooperate. This one here. So that was yesterday. You and I talked about this after the show, because I think it only came off after we did the stop recording yesterday. And so apparently here, this is Politico. So again, take it for what it's worth. I don't believe anything they say, but we're going to look at it. A lot of people are asking. Apparently, Trump is telling his inner circle that Musk will soon leave the show. So there is a point in politics when the person gets too big for the position, in the sense that his personal life, his big balls, his whatever is taking more importance than the work they're trying to do. Could it be that Musk has reached that position now, and Trump is suggesting maybe he has to go in order for Doge to continue unimpeded? I don't know. Let's pull on the cards. Is Trump really saying that? Is this just another hit piece from these guys who are just hoping to create division and to separate the X team, so to speak? What's going on here, Lee?
Okay, so I'm going to do it like Trump white hat sock team, because he's a whole team. It's not just Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's going to be the guy that plays the brand of Elon Musk. That's how complex of a thing we're dealing with. We're not talking about actual individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the past, present, and are they done with them? Kind of like we can further understand your question there, Jean-Claude.
Mm-hmm. Okie doke. I like the way you think, Janine.
Okay,
it could be there's a lot of new people. Janine, you and I have been noticing this in the last 2-3 weeks. Like, judging by the questions, they don't know the terminology, and we've been using this terminology for years. So maybe they're coming at it from that perspective, and they're not really getting what we're trying to accomplish in the show. And to those people, I say, hey, welcome. Just, take a breath, breathe a little bit, follow us, understand, try to see what we're doing. Look at the comments also below the videos. It'll help you kind of figure out things. And by all means, ask questions. There's a big community here ready to help you out. And as Janine was saying in her quick draw today, it's important because these people who are waking up, they're our friends and families. And so we need to be nice with them, and we need to give them some room also to go through that red pilling process, right? So, yeah, be nice to everybody. Go ahead, Janine. So is Trump really suggesting maybe that he's going to move the brand?
It's up in the air.
Oh, okay.
And they could at any moment.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they must have thought about, and they're ready to part ways. Yeah, so I think it's exactly what you said. And there's an ace in the middle, so that's a yes to how you said it, I think, is a yes. Okay, so we've got the Fool. So they're just having him play a part. So he only has the Fool just has a certain, like, shows up, does his thing, and then off he goes to another sort of, another party or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the near future. I feel like you won't see him after the financial thing really gets clarified, which is imminent, in my opinion. This month seems to be the month here, but where things shift financially, I feel like they'll be done, but it'll be a really good parting of ways. It doesn't look like there'll be generous words from Trump and sending him on his way and thanking him for his service. That's what it looks like.
Huh. And it could very well be, you can do clarifiers, but this could have been the plan all along, where he knew he only had a couple of months. Think about it. This guy's a billionaire. He wants to go to Mars. He was talking to William Shatner the other day about going to Mars. Like, he doesn't want to run Doge. Like, it's boring for him. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe he only thought he was going to be there 4 or 5 months. Do you want to do a clarifier on that? On the side of Trump, on the side of Musk, and whether or not he thought he was going to the moon instead of working for Doge?
Mm-hmm. So we've got the star, and so I think it's even a bigger thing than that. I feel like there's a whole nother thing he's off to. Well, I guess that makes sense to you. He might be going to Mars or whatever. I wonder if he's like a hybrid like Trump is.
Didn't we get that?
I
We
think
on this
so. I
before,
just
no?
can't remember for sure, but this is kind
Yeah.
of looking like he's a hybrid and he's off to something else. Like he's on a whole nother mission. Yeah, it's exactly what you said as far as
Is he
I'm
off to Mars? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are big projects that a guy running Doge can't really
Yeah.
do. Like, there's only so many hours in a day.
And so he was here for a difficult part of our enlightenment. I
Yeah.
said, what was he here for? A difficult part of our enlightenment. He put himself in a difficult position, or the brand of him agreed to a difficult part. I don't think it's literally him. I think somebody's playing him, but I feel like he agreed to this in the background at some point. He does come from a satanic ritual abuse family. I've got that before. Look up his parents, in particular his mom, and look up some of his past. But I feel like he came over and wanted to be of service at some point. And but I don't think you're literally seeing him. But I think a lot of these guys are doubles just for safety reasons. But anyway, so yeah, the person himself, like I feel like the reason he's such a sort of special character is he's not really all entirely human, actually, by the look of that. And then here we've got the hanged man. Yeah, he put himself in that difficult position, like you said, who'd want to run Doge and be that unpopular. Oh, my goodness, by a whole half the population in the U.S. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, his business is getting blown up. All his cars are getting torched. And there's making smear campaigns and telling him he's a Nazi because he got really excited and threw his arm up. Oh my goodness, everyone's like walking around in with their community. We don't want to do any weird signals, but and all we're doing is just like trying to live and do good work, So, anyway, never mind. Okay, so we've got the hanged man. Yeah, I feel like it's exactly what you said. He doesn't need to be doing this. He's off to new adventures.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Flower Patriot, yesterday I bought another year of Beyond Mystic at the Insider Access Pass. Thank you for the 50% discount. It helps a lot. Well, thank you, Flower Patriot. Appreciate that. Guys, if you love these shows and you want to encourage us to do even more, yes, please consider the Insider Access Pass. It's on sale now. We have 3 days left on this coupon code SPRING50 in one word. We'll give you 50% off. And there you get access to the whole library, all the years of previous shows, and of course, all the shows moving forward here. The Beyond the News, we do 3 of those segments every week. We also do the Wu-Fi segments. These are more of the financial forecasts, and quite a few new things coming up there as well. So please do go check it out at beyondmystic.net. So, and again, the big thank you to all of you. And yes, if you're already an Insider Access Pass member, you can use this code, add it to cart, and it will add an automatic 12 months at the end of your current term at this rate also. So if you want to take advantage of that 50% off now, you can do so, again, using the code SPRING50. Very thankful for the 50% discount. Thank you, JC. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just a couple of comments. JC is open-minded without selling out his base. Thanks. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. That's the whole point, right? We're trying to be true to ourselves and be responsible with all of this information. JC, you're not grumpy. This is a serious shit, and we all need to learn to question everything. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that too. Janine, we have some cool prizes to give away. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, hold on. Where's my... Carla sent me some stuff. We have some cool stuff tonight. Different stuff. Okay, so let's start. Oh, yeah. We haven't given away these yet. These are cool. Hold on. This one here. This is the special edition Beyond Mystic Sending Ravens mug. I have one here in my hand. So on one hand, you see the Beyond Mystic logo, and on the other hand, you see the Sending Ravens logo. Isn't that cool? Do you have one of these? Did you bring it from the conference?
I did.
Yeah? Okay, cool. All right. And of course, this is going to be very helpful for the new Coffee and Chat product that's coming up on the Academy. You guys can go check that out. We're going to be launching that here very shortly. So Janine, do you have a question for the audience members here to give away one of these beautiful cups here tonight?
Yep. I'm going to ask what the number 10 in the tarot means. So not what this card means, but generally when I talk about tens, I'll often say tens are what? They're what?
Okay.
In the tarot, when you see tens, something is doing what?
Okay. So, guys, while we wait for that to populate, already a few good answers there. Yes. You can also support Janine here at tarotbyjanine.com. There for about the price of a cup of coffee every month. You get all the news and a brand new community chat that is about to be launched there as well. New features coming up. So if you're on tarotbyjanine.com now too, you're going to see Malva in the background there doing some tests here and there. We're going to be improving the site here very shortly. And again, a big thank you to all of you who do support Janine on that platform. It enables her to be out here doing all of these free shows for you guys as well. And if you're seeing Tarot by Janine weekly news on YouTube, please note that those have been pirated and stolen from Janine. And we keep getting emails. Oh, Janine, you're collaborating with this YouTuber. I'm like, no, she's not. So they're taking the content. We try our best to give notices to YouTube, but they keep popping up. So if you want to help us with that, we'd really appreciate that. And of course, we appreciate you supporting Janine there at tarotbyjanine.com. Okay, Janine, let me know when to stop the feed.
Stop.
Okay. Future Cube 62 endings. That is correct. So if you go to beyondmystic.net at the top of the page there, fill out the tech support form, and we'll have Carla send you out one of this beautiful mugs. What else do we have from Carla? We have some earrings. Oh, let's do that too. I haven't seen these in a while. Janine, what are these?
Oh, yeah. Silver. So crescent moons. Mm-hmm. And she's also got kind of a leaf pattern pressed onto them. So they've got they're a little bit stylized that way. Yeah. Yeah,
it's gorgeous. So these are sterling silver, and the tops here are pure silver.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, and I like how long they are because they don't you're not going to lose them. Right. So this is another pair from the same so this person makes all of these one at a time individually. She does make duplicates of, for instance, this style, but none of them will actually ever look alike. If you look at those two, they're different, like the leaf pattern on them. Each one is different. So she doesn't stamp them out. They're not mass produced. She works at it one at a time. I've watched her do it.
Everything is man-made. Yeah, really cool. Handmade and man-made, woman-made in this particular case. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Janine, do you have another question for this one?
Oh boy.
Another card? What do you want to do?
Okay, let's see how many old-time viewers are out there. What is my cat's name who lives in the Haida-Gwaii? So I have my Vancouver kitty and my Haida-Gwaii kitty, and I need both names. So it's a
okay. All right.
Two names. I want them both.
The two names of the Haida-Gwaii kitty, who had a little bobo on her tail, on his tail a couple of months ago. Yeah, that one. All right. A few people know the answer to that one as well. So, guys, if you're looking for some of these really cool Haida-Gwaii inspired jewelry, you can go to ascensionorganites.com. We still have a few of those really amazing heirloom pieces that were created for the there you go. Absolutely gorgeous pieces, guys. So go check it out. Yeah,
heavier duty chains, and she really got special with the the silver work, and of course the stone is much bigger than some of the smaller pieces. So this would be a bit of a statement piece. You have to really want to be like.
Definitely a statement, and definitely something you pass down in your family. These are one-in-a-lifetime pieces. Of course, these are all very unique as well. Absolutely amazing. So, ascensionorganites.com is the website if you want to go check it out. A couple of pieces, handful left of these heirloom pieces available for you guys. Okay, Janine, let me go back to the live chat and let me know here when you want me to stop the feed.
Stop.
Rachel Villemer. That sounds like a very French name. So congratulations, Rachel. You're the winner of these beautiful pendants, earring pendants. Okay, again, if you go to the top of the page, beyondmystic.net, fill out the tech support form, and we'll have that sent out to you very shortly. And I think we have another gift, Janine. Is that possible? That's a lot of gifts.
Wow.
Yes, we have Intuition Pyramid. Let me see if I can bring this up. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll declare that one. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay,
Mhm.
so our Organite Pyramid, again, guys, if you're not familiar with these, please do go check it out at ascensionorganites.com. A big thank you to Carla also for providing all of these amazing gifts tonight for the show. Really appreciate that. What is the term that Cliff High originally circled out in the WebBot data representing the white hats? Some people were asking about that earlier in the show.
Mhm.
What is the term? And while you look at that, I think there's going to be a few changes to the schedule next week, guys. So go to beyondmystic.net schedule page there. And not a lot, but maybe a few changes there. So probably by Sunday morning, Coco will have the schedule up for you guys, and you'll know what's up for the week. Now, Janine, you want to tell me when to stop the feed?
Stop.
All right. Sedona Muse 17. Congratulations. I think this person's won before. This name rings a bell. Sedona Muse 17. I love it. Yes, the SOC, the Self-Organizing Collective. That was the correct answer. Janine, before we go for tonight, do you want to pull into the weekend? Just like
Sure.
what we need to know, any advice moving up here? Again, it's just like you said, today was like a little bit Twilight Zone-y in terms of energies. People are feeling it. Let's just see how to navigate this through the weekend here and into next week.
Oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
Okay. So I feel like a lot of us, if this is our archetype, so when I first pull a card, when it's advice, this will be how to be. So this is interesting. So how to be ready for and willing to have revelations. Okay, because this becomes more internal if it's an archetype. So it's about revelations. It's like all of us our ideas about what history was, like just even for an example, we just found out that the pyramid story's been a complete lie. Okay, so things are totally different than we thought they were, probably from a whole different time, very different than the slaves pulling like thousands and thousands of Egyptian slaves, pulling all of those big bricks. Like we now know all of that it was an agenda to tell us that. Okay, just for instance. Okay, so I feel like you're going to have more of that throughout daily and hourly, and throughout the weekend you're going to have more revelations, and this has been ramping up ever since the beginning of the year. Like it's been nonstop. Okay, so be prepared. Okay, and see that 7, hold your own, that says. So things could get like we could have some big crashy things happen. We could have some, like, think about it. They're already telling you be prepared for Prince, or I guess he's King Charlie Pants. Okay, yeah. So he could, at any moment, we could see the passing of him. But of course, that happened likely a long time ago. Like there's all of these.
The Pope also.
Yeah, the Pope, we got them all. They're all just like waiting on the fringes.
They're all hanging on.
Like, I don't know why they're waiting, but you know what I mean? Like so many things. Also, of course, what just happened with the stock market, we could see more crazy business tomorrow. Like expect things to get a little wacky. Okay, and there will be big revelations for all. I mean, just look what Trump just tweeted there, what we showed you there. Like they're starting to show, like really show their hand here, it looks like. Okay, so this card says hold your own through that. Stay in your own person. This guy stays, he defends his honor. Remember the old-fashioned word valor? So he defends his right to be who he is, and he defends what he believes to be true about himself. Okay, so it's very much a Sagittarian card in a way that way. So as a good Sag finds out their real their belief system, they don't just follow doctrines, and then they defend it and stick to it. Okay, so he's got that kind of energy, fiery, and be willing to defend your honor. So as things get crazy, like I find people are texting and emailing me more and calling me on things, and or kind of even poking at me because they can't believe things are happening the way they are, and they want to call me wrong somehow because it looks like we've been right about stuff. And so that just before everything crashes, people get angry, believe it or not. They'll be madder at you because they've been wrong about stuff. So yeah, so we're going to be prepared to defend yourself, defend your honor, even if it's just within your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Three of Wands. So as things, we're in all new territory. We've been in new territory. Every one of these days we go into things we're in areas we've never been. We could probably externally see some, people might be seeing UFO, UAP, what do they call them? Action here.
Yeah.
So watch for in your area. You could this could be a big part of that tower moment, depending on where you are. I guess there could be a lot of that. Look at these major arcanas. We've got the Chariot. So it's not a calm weekend. Okay. It's not calm, and it's going to be full of action and revelations. And by Monday's news show, we're going to have a lot to talk about, people.
If you listen to Joni Patrice's last video, she was laying out the first couple of days of April, and I think until the 4th, or 5th or 6th on the Sunday anyways, it was going to get crazier by the day. So I think you just picked up on the same in the cards. Well, thank you, Janine. Appreciate that. I think it was the Sodona person. She was asking how to redeem the...
Sự từ giờ về sau, xa ngút ngàn dặm. Rồi nhì phun ra một ngụm, vì sự mắc cỡ của chính mình làm cho đỏ mặt. Đứa bé tỉnh ngủ rồi, mở đôi mắt đen như điểm son, ngoan ngoãn nhìn nàng. Tuy mặc trang phục nam nhân, nhưng trong mắt đứa trẻ không biết thế sự này, không biết có gì là kỳ quái. Cho dù đang mắt nhắm mắt mở, ngửi thấy mùi lạ của nàng, nó cũng hiểu được đó là mẹ ruột của nó, sẽ lập tức bình tĩnh trở lại. Nhìn về mặt đứa trẻ ngây thơ hồn nhiên, trên mặt Thơ Anh Nhi lộ ra nụ cười ngọt ngào, lông mày cong, môi vẩy, cười như một dòng nước. Có con đã làm án mình. Bản thân mình lãnh minh tạo phản, xông pha gây ra đại họa. Cho dù hắn thân là quốc công cũng không thể còn có biện pháp tự mình giải thoát. Chỉ cần giết chung tất cả, báo thù cho cha và những người thân chết thảm chân chặt, ta sẽ mang theo con ẩn cư chân trời, nuôi dưỡng nó thành người. Dần nay, chúng ta kiếp này vô duyên. Cười mà trong lòng có chút chua xót, nước mắt trong suốt chậm rãi tràn ra khóe mắt. Đứa bé vẫn không rõ sự tình, nó chỉ có thể nói vi mô, xòe hai bàn tay ra, hy vọng mẹ có thể ôm nó. Đúng lúc này, Tam Thẩm vén một bên rèm bước đến nói lầm bầm: hình như bệnh của Hình Cao Đại càng ngày càng nặng. Cả ngày hành quân đánh trận cũng không có thời gian điều trị, thật đúng là phiền toái. Thời Nhì vội vàng ôm lấy đứa con, cái giá của nó như hết của mình, nhìn từ phía sau giống như là đang ôm hôn đứa con. Tam Thẩm cười ha. Đứa bé càng lớn càng giống người chung. Đứa trẻ này tuấn tú đấy, khiến người ta yêu mến. Tam Thẩm cũng yêu thương nó lắm. Cảm thúc của cô cứ muốn hôn nó, người ta đạp cho mấy đá không dám nữa rồi. Cái đôi mắt kia hàm lắm, tiệm đầy râu mép, còn nhỏ, da thịt mềm làm sao mà chịu nổi. Mà cái lão ấy còn không vui đâu. Rồi Bành Nhi cũng cười rộ lên. Nàng thuận thế đem con dao cho Tam Thẩm nói: Thẩm bảo, người trông cháu trước, con ra ngoài đâu. Tam Thẩm nghi hoặc nói: đi đâu đấy? Hôm nay nghỉ binh bị hoàn, Quan binh đã rút lui khỏi núi rồi. Thám mã mười mấy đường, còn sợ có người cướp. Rồi Nhi thắt cắt em thật chặt, thuận tay ra và đứng lên nói: ồ, không phải, con đi sang Hình Lão Đại. Thời Nhi ra khỏi nhà cỏ, đón ánh mặt trời đỏ hoa để hít một hơi dài, dạo chân đi về phía trước núi. Nghiệp duyên của hai người vốn là xấu hổ, nay lại không thể qua và thổ nghỉ. Chưa nói chuyện là bên nhau, cho dù gặp mặt cũng có hơn cả lên trời. Hôm nay hắn đi vi quân độ cùng với Triệu Phú tại Nhị Hòa, lén đi nhìn hắn một cái, có lẽ cả đời này đây là lần cuối cùng gặp hắn. Khi Nhã Điêu lặng lẽ thò đầu ra từ phía sau Nam Thẩm, thì nhìn thấy đối diện xanh tươi tốt, một vùng xanh đậm, lắm cành nhiều lá. Gió thổi cây đung đưa giống như là sóng xanh, đồng thời không có chút nào bất thường. Chẳng lẽ do mắt mình nhìn lầm sao? Kim Nhãn Điêu âm thầm nghi hoặc. Thị lực của gã tinh người này dù nổi tiếng bởi thần lực và tài bắn cung, nhưng biệt danh lại gọi là Kim Nhãn Điêu, do đó có thể nhìn ra điểm mạnh nhãn lực của gã. Và lúc cảnh giác cao độ này, làm sao có thể sơ suất nhìn lầm được? Kim Nhãn Điêu quay đầu nhìn một cái, nhìn trên cầu hai bên đang trên vào một chỗ đang bàn chuyện hai say, không có một chút cơ hội để xuống tay, nên kiên nhẫn chuyển sang tìm kiếm ở bên trong rừng phía đối diện. Đặc biệt chú ý quan sát nơi vừa rồi lóe sáng, đột nhiên là một trận gió lay đến, lay động cành bụi rậm. Kim Nhãn Điêu ánh mắt sáng lên, đã có phát hiện rồi. Tiểu Sở mang bộ y phục đi đêm, nếu gã mặc quần áo màu sắc rực rỡ như Kim Nhãn Điêu gần rừng cây biển hồ, Kim Nhãn Điêu chưa chắc đã phát hiện ra. Nhưng bây giờ gã phục trên tảng cây không có động tĩnh gì, Kim Nhãn Điêu vẫn chú ý tới nơi này có sự bất thường. Gã chăm chú nhìn thấy đó, cây cối lắc lư, bóng dáng khả nghi của Tiểu Sở ở trên cây cũng lúc ẩn lúc hiện. Làm lại một trận gió đêm, khi nhánh cây lay động vừa đúng lúc Tiểu Sở chuyển mình một cái, mặt của Kim Nhãn Điêu lập tức lộ ra nụ cười đầy sát khí. Nơi đó quả nhiên có người, xem ra quan binh là muốn ám sát Triệu Nguyên Soái. Y không biết hai bên đàm phán trên cầu thiên nhân bao giờ mới quay về vị trí ngồi xuống. Thích khách của đối phương bất cứ lúc nào cũng có thể phóng tên ám sát Triệu Nguyên Soái. Lúc này không thể chờ được nữa, Y lập tức lấy một mũi tên ra, âm thầm hướng về phía bên phải một chút. Tảng đá lớn này nhô ra không phải bằng phẳng gì, nghiêng về một bên, cao hơn một đầu của cầu. Như thế di chuyển một hướng, quỳ trên đá dư công đắp tên, cũng không sợ bên kia không được phát hiện. Ti ta ta, dây cung rung lên, Kim Nhãn Điêu nheo mắt giống như một mãnh cầm đi săn, lặng lặng chờ đợi cơ hội tốt nhất. Quý vị và các bạn thân mến, chúng ta vừa cùng Đình Duy theo dõi hết tập 194 của Ngô Bảy Thời Minh. Hẹn gặp lại quý vị và các bạn trong tập 195. Xin chào các bạn khán giả thân mến, chào mừng quý vị và các bạn đã quay trở lại với Kiếm Vệ Thông. Chúng ta tiếp tục theo dõi chuỗi truyền thông về Người Thường Minh với diễn biến của tập 195. Lại một trận gió thổi qua, cành lắc lư, người xuất hiện, ào ào một mũi tên. Tên bắn đi, Kim Nhãn Điêu liền quay người trên tảng đá chửi thầm một tiếng. Y lập tức xoay tay lại rút ra một mũi tên nữa, gắp lên dây cung, nhanh chóng nhìn ra vị trí mục tiêu, nín thở định thần, không nhúc nhích. Nhìn từ xa tự như trên đá có đúc một người sắt vậy, màu sắc rực rỡ như bị gì đột quét, nhưng mặc kệ gió thổi mưa rơi, sừng sững bất động. Mũi tên này trước khi rời cung, khi nhìn thấy người mặc áo xanh ở phía đối diện di chuyển sang bên cạnh một chút, từ động tác mà nói chắc chắn là hành động vô thức, có thể là nhìn bóng người trên cầu di chuyển vị trí thích hợp để tìm vị trí bắn tên. Nhưng thời cơ này rất đúng lúc, Kim Nhãn Điêu theo kinh nghiệm liền lập tức biết mũi tên này bắn vô ích rồi. Mũi tên bắn vào cây, ngoài trừ đối phương là kẻ đĩ, nếu không tuyệt đối không có khả năng không phát hiện ra. Kim Nhãn Điêu căng thẳng chăm chú, chờ đợi đối phương có phản ứng. Bất luận đối phương phản kích, né tránh đều được hòng tránh khỏi mũi tên thứ hai. Bây giờ là trùng hợp trước khi mũi tên bắn ra di rời khỏi vị trí ban đầu, Nhưng lúc này kẻ kia đã không kịp làm gì để ứng biến. Cung của Vũ Tài Tiễn phá dây cung mà bắn ra, nhãn lực có đường, tốc độ nhanh hơn tia chớp. Chính là ở trên đất bằng cũng có tránh né được, huống chi là ở trên tảng cây. Và lại là y có chuẩn bị tâm lý, có thể dự đoán phương hướng hành động của đối phương. Cây kia cao tới 15-16 trượng, muốn nhảy xuống tất phải chết hoặc tàn phế. Mũi tên thứ hai này đã chết chắc rồi. Rào, đen đen, gió thổi bên tai, lực gió trào sát cổ nóng bỏng. Tiểu Sở còn chưa phục hồi tinh thần lại, một âm thanh ong ong chuyển đến khiến gã hoảng sợ, còn tưởng rằng không cẩn thận đụng phải tổ ong vỏ vẽ. Quay đầu nhìn lại, Tiểu Sở lập tức bị dọa đứng người. Một mũi tên nhọn đâm vào cây hơn một thước, thân tên thô thô mà to như ngón cái, rung động gấp gáp, vung ra một phương hành hiểm quạt. Đây là mũi tên nhọn đáng sợ đến mức nào? Tiểu Sở cứng lại, đã nắm chặt cung, mồ hôi thấm ướt lòng bàn tay, thân mình cứng nhắc vẫn không nhúc nhích. Qua hồi lâu, gã mới chậm rãi ngẩng đầu nhìn tới hướng đuôi tên chỉ. Khi ngẩng đầu, dường như khớp xương cổ đều bị mắc kẹt lên thành kiếm. Lão rò này đầu cánh vừa hay có một lùm lá cây che đi tầm mắt của gã, có thể nhìn thấy tàn nham thạch đối diện. Cũng đoán chừng đã có người bắn tên từ nơi ấy, nhưng không cách nào thấy rõ vị trí người đó. Tài bắn cung như vậy, cường cung như vậy, thật là đáng sợ. Có lẽ đối diện Giáp Lá Cả, người này không phải là đối thủ của gã, nhưng đối bắn cung tiễn như thế này, tự mình có thể có bao nhiêu phần chắc chắn là chiến hay là đi.